Let's just get straight into it. I know that personal statements are not easy to write or to draft or to just get started on. So for today, you are going to learn how to do one in exactly 10 minutes. And if you're making notes, which I recommend you do, by the end of this video, you will have a really good, clear draft and a guide on how to go and write yours. And all you have to do after that is go and fill in the sentences and make them full, but you should leave with an outline of your personal statement. So if you're new here and you're wondering why should you listen to me, my name is Dr. V Kativhu, and I've written many personal statements in my time, and those personal statements have gotten me into the University of Oxford, Harvard, and now I'm doing a PhD at Claremont Graduate University in California, hence the lighting and the sun that is shining in right now. And I'm also a doctor of the University of Bradford, where I received an honorary doctorate degree, and I'm 26 years old. So whether you're applying for medicine, law, history, English, I know exactly how to turn your passion into a strong personal statement that will get you into your dream universities. So grab your notepad and pen and just give me 10 minutes of your time, and also obviously press subscribe if you find this video helpful, because I'm always making how-to videos, and I can do this again and again if you comment below anything else that you'd like to see from me. Let's get started, and I have my own notes right here, and I'm reading my own personal statement from Oxford as we're going along, just so that you can see the examples of what I also put in. So now we're going to begin talking about the opening line. We're talking about that opening sentence at the beginning of your personal statement, and what I need you to do is to let go of the cliches. Like, I need you to let go of the I was born to do this, I've known since birth, because it doesn't really tell us anything, as we want that opening line to hook that reader. My opening line was, quite simply, I want to understand the world around me and my place in it. And I was studying history. I wanted to apply for history. So you can see how I'm thinking about, this is a degree to do with people, the world, and what's happened in our history and our past. And I'm doing this because I want to understand where I fit into that mold. Another example, because I know not everybody's going to be thinking about history. Another example, if you were to do law, you might say, the first time I watched a wrongful conviction case being overturned, I realized the power of justice and the responsibility of those who uphold it. So you've said something triggered you to be interested in it, and that was when you watched this thing, and then that thing has made you want to be involved in that process, and hence you want to study law. You know what I mean? That opening sentence says it. As you're rewatching it, write down one sentence that sums up why you love your subject, and there's no pressure. Just get anything down just to get your juices flowing. Like, what is it about medicine that makes you want to study it? Step number 2, we're going to be thinking about why this subject specifically. For example, we're not going to say, I like history because it's interesting. Absolutely not. Not any viewer of mine. If you're watching this video, you're not allowed to do that, okay? Because you need to explain specifically why it excites you. And an example from my personal statement from wanting to study history at Oxford, I said, history goes beyond just dates. It's about incidental facts, like how Augustulus' defeat to Odessa arguably caused the fall of the Roman Empire. I'm particularly keen on studying ancient aspects of history, especially Roman architecture and Greek society. I got a little bit more specific. Just saying I like history full stop, it's just not enough. Now, if you were to do medicine, you might say, the moment that I assisted a doctor in an emergency ward during my hospital shadowing placement, I saw firsthand the blend of science, compassion, and the problem solving that makes medicine so compelling. Hence, I want to do this degree. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's showing that something happened. There's something specific about it you saw, now you want to do. We will not be vague. It also demonstrates curiosity for the subject that you're going to embark on and give 3 years of your life, or 6 years of your life if it's medicine. And you really need to convince these admissions tutors that you are making this decision consciously and actively, and you've done some research into why this one and why now. So what you can do here, if you pause the video, is just write 3 sentences, like 3 very short sentences about why you want to study the degree you want to study. Remember, this is just a draft. You can get your juices flowing and you have something to work from. So give me 3 sentences as to why you think you want to do fashion, law, history, or medicine. Like, why that subject and not any other one. Okay, step 3, this is about your academic exploration. This part is what scares everybody the most, because they're like, I don't think I have enough experience. I haven't been able to go to Egypt on a family holiday to see the pyramids for me to say I want to study ancient history because of A, B, C, D. This is where your free experience comes in, okay? I'm a firm believer that you should not have to pay for those experiences for them to be valid or good enough for Oxford or Harvard. Nothing that was in my personal statement was any experience I ever paid for. It was all the things I could do from my bedroom or walking around or going to the free museums and all of those kinds of things. So please don't stress. Okay, so here you want to show them that you've explored your subject beyond school, beyond the classroom. You want students who are proactive in their learning. So here's an example from my personal statement. If you're thinking about history, I said, conducting my EPQ on the transatlantic slave trade led me to read Eric Williams's Capitalism and Slavery. I found Williams's work to be thought-provoking as he offered a different perspective on the reasons that Britain abolished the trade in 1833. What I've done there is I've gone and shown that I've not only read about this topic, I've gone and done an extended project qualification by choice to explore it further. I read this book by this author and I wanted to understand why they wrote that book. In that, like, I've shown from I Love History, we've gone, I love it so much, I took it out of the classroom, did an extended project, and also read about it in my spare time, unprovoked. And here's an example. If I was to be doing an English literature degree, I would say, reading Beloved by Toni Morrison and comparing it with Shakespeare's Othello deepened my understanding of how literature portrays racial identity across different time periods. You can do this in your bedroom. You got the two books, you sit there, you read them, you're analyzing them, you're comparing them, contrasting them. You're making your degree fun to you. You're putting the conversation between authors unprovoked. No one asked you to do that. And these two work because, number one, they show intellectual curiosity, and they also show that you are good at critical thinking and analyzing and assessing and comparing and contrasting. And that is exactly what universities want in a future student. Okay, so now what I want you to do is pause the video and write down at least one thing that you've done in your spare time, not in class. It can't be during class hours, outside of the classroom, that you've done that connects you to why you love that subject. For example, a book you read, a podcast you listened to, a YouTube video you watched, a documentary, maybe a museum visit, anything that you've done that's connected to the degree you want to study, but you did it outside of classroom hours. And don't forget to explain what you learned from it. So not just, I went to the museum because I love history. No, I went to this specific museum to listen to this specific tour, which taught me this specific thing, and it made me want to look further into this specific subject. You know what I mean? Like, give us a sandwich. Give us an academic sandwich. Step number 4, this is all about your skills and your experiences. I say this in every single personal statement video that I've ever done. You need to show and not tell. Show us and don't just tell us. I'm hardworking proves nothing. Nothing at all. You need to see how you are hardworking. So here's an example from my own personal statement. I said, I completed a year's work experience at Wordsley High School teaching, planning and delivering history lessons to GCSE students. This was exciting as it allowed me to express my love for history in an active, creative and intellectual manner. I don't even have to say anything because that was chef's kiss. But let me give you an example. If I was to be doing engineering, I would have said, designing and building a robotic arm in my school's engineering club taught me how to turn theoretical physics into real-world solutions. You're giving us the fact that you're part of a club. You've told us what you did in that club, and you've told us what it taught you. Do you see what I'm saying? These two examples work because they prove skills through life experience, and they also link practical work to academic goals. So you're showing how you can turn this degree or this subject that you want to do in the future into something active in your world and not just in the classroom. And you close the book, it's done. So pause the video and write down for me one experience that has helped you develop skills that are relevant to your subject, and then explain what you learned from it. And that explanation has to be very explicit. Don't be vague. We're almost there, guys. Just 2 more steps and we are going to have a personal statement draft. Okay, now you want to talk about your future goals. You want to tie your subject that you want to study to your future ambitions and show them how those two are going to marry each other. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have it all figured out and tell them what office you want to have in the future and what job title, but it needs to show something like, I'm aspiring towards this thing. I'm not sure how I'll get there yet, but I'm aspiring for this, and doing this degree will help me in this way. Universities want to see that you have at least got a vision for your future. Even if that changes later on, that's okay. But for right now, they need to know that you can see how this degree is an investment into your future. If I was applying for psychology or a different degree like that, I would say studying cognitive neuroscience will allow me to explore how mental health interventions can be improved for adolescents. I'm showing them that I have an idea of what psychological field I want to go in. I know that I want to work with adolescents and I want to improve their mental health interventions. So this degree will help me work towards that goal. So now what I want you to do is pause the video and write down one goal that you have for the future and how doing this degree could help aid that in some way or another. It doesn't have to be as explicit as the psychology. It will show how your degree is somehow adding to your future. And lastly, we are now at the conclusion. So you want to leave a really good and strong final impression. A final impression is just as important as the first impression. So here was my one, like it was very specific. I said, evaluating ancient tattoo machinery in the Pitts Rivers Museum and Alfred's jewel in the Ashmolean Museum has left me enlightened and excited to progress onto degree level study. I've given them another dose of history in what I've been doing in my spare time to then say, this has made me even more excited about my future at your university studying this thing. Now, if I was going to be studying law, for example, this is what I would say. The evolving nature of legal systems fascinates me, and I am eager to contribute to the future of justice through critical thinking and advocacy. I am eager to contribute. Do you see that? I'm eager to contribute. Enlightened. I want to contribute. Like it needs to ooze out of you that you are excited, you're thrilled. It is going to be the honor of a lifetime to be able to study this degree at this university at this time in your life. That's what we need it to be giving. Pause the video one last time and I want you to write down 2 to 3 sentences wrapping up why you are excited about this course. See guys, and now just like that, you have a solid first draft of your personal statement with some ideas and bullet points, and your juices are flowing now. You know which direction you might want to go. Now all you have to do is go fill that out on a page, make the sentences longer, make it more descriptive and all of that jazz, and you have a first draft. You now have somewhere to start. And if this video helped you, it really helps me if you can press subscribe and also leave a comment. You can even say, wow, this was so helpful. Just anything, so I have an indication that you enjoyed this and that I should keep doing more, because we can do this for Harvard or read my PhD personal statement out loud, or just let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go. Please subscribe, please comment, please like, please share it with anybody who you think might need it, and let me know if it was helpful. Love you lots, and I'm sorry if this ends up being more than 10 minutes, but I promise you it should take 10 minutes to do it. So love you, I'll see you soon, and we are so back. Bye.